Simple ingredients for today are going to be flour, celery, eggs, liver, and we're going to throw in some Quaker Oats just for a little bit of texture. Start with about 4 ounces of liver. We're going to start with our freshly rinsed celery. We're going to go for about maybe a half a cup. Just take it right off of there. Celery is excellent for the dogs. Not only is it something that they actually enjoy the flavor of, but it's got that stinky smell. No, it has a very good smell once they chew it. It's used in a lot of dog foods as a bit of a breath freshener. Does wonders. We're just going to get this all minced up. The finer the better. Now you can always do it in a blender, a chopper. Okay, we're going to take our liver here, blood and all, a little liquid, a little less water we've got to add, or a little less milk. We're going to try and keep as little water in here as possible, probably just about a quarter cup. We're going to take this little blood and juices and all, throw it in our blender, and kind of emulsify it, get it as fine as we can. Just get it as chopped up in there as we possibly can. Now, what we're hoping for is a nice liver pate, liver sauce. Let's see what we got here. Going for kind of a nice liver pudding, liver pate sauce here. And it's coming out real nice. And we don't need a lot of this because our main objective is to get that flavor. Hopefully we won't get that smell when we're cooking it. We want a little bit of smell. That's what keeps doggies going. But again, that's the nice thing about dogs. That nose, they'll pick up liver from anywhere. I already had a visit from Emmerich about 5 minutes ago. He heard me open the package and thought it was cheese. Then he got a whiff and he didn't want to leave. We went ahead and convinced him there was a squirrel outside that he could chase. And of course that takes precedence. And here comes the fun part. We've got our milk, our half cup of celery, and our 2 eggs, and just a dash of salt. We're going to take it, we're going to mix it right in here with our liver, and just one little ingredient at a time here. Just pour it right in. Have all our wet ingredients mixed together. Of course, we've got them up here in the stand mixer. There we go. Just pop our yolks there, give it a little whip before we start adding our dry ingredients. Don't forget our little pinch of salt in there. Just 2.5 cups of all-purpose flour. Just throw it right into our liquid. Alright, there's our 2.5 cups of flour in there with our liquid, our celery, our liver pate there. We're going to end up adding about 1 more cup of flour. Just slowly into the mix. Get it leveled off here. Just a little bit at a time, about a quarter cup at a time, just to make sure we don't get it too thick. There it is, picking right up on the sides there. It's going to start folding itself in. We're right at about 3 cups of flour total. Then we added about another half cup. Okay, now we've taken off our beater bar. We've cleaned as much of it off there as we need to. It's going to be at a consistency where you'll see it's pretty thick. Sticks together very well. Now, what you might want to do at this point, what I tend to do a lot, get a little flour on my hands so that it doesn't stick to my fingers too bad. At this point, it's just about perfect. It's not too sticky to the hand, but it's not real dry that it falls apart and doesn't layer either. I'm going to take half the dough at this time. This is going to yield about 20 to 30 cookies depending on size. You can see it's kind of sticky. It's sticking in my hands there. So that's where I want to get the flour. I want to get it onto the flour as quick as possible. That'll keep it from being so sticky on my hands. We've got a little bit of thickness forming up in there. It's not pulling apart and breaking away on us. See our little bits of celery in there? Dog's going to love that. I'm going to go ahead and just throw it over here on the flour deck and get ready to roll it up. Okay, I've got it on the platform here. You can see she's floured on both sides. I'm going to keep it like that. Just got a nice two-fisted size ball here. We're going to go ahead and get our rolling pin and start squashing it down into it when it comes out of the oven. Go ahead and get your nice floured up rolling pin here. Just give it a press out. We're going for about 1/2 to 3/4 the thickness of this particular cookie cutter. So we're talking about 1/4 to 1/2 inch on the thickness once we get it rolled out here. Just going to give it a little squish. Alright. Very nicely evened up. Now at that last part I did add about 1/4 cup more flour to get it to the consistency we wanted. And then I've got about 1/4 cup flour dusted out here. So in total you're going to need right at 3.5 to 4 cups of flour, depending on how much you use to dust your pan with. Now we've got it right about that 1/2 inch thick here. As you can see, it's about 1/2 to 3/4 of the height. We'll cut us out 1 dog bone. Give it a little shake, get it separate from the sides. There we have 1 dog bone ready to cook. Now we're going to put this on a cookie sheet, ungreased. Now you can, if you want, use parchment paper. I found either way works. I like the parchment paper because it does mean I can reuse the pans if I've only got 1 or 2 cookie sheets. Okay? Now this one we're just going to use the regular pan. We're going to lay it out here. We can usually get, don't want them too close, don't want them too far. We're talking probably, you know, about 1/2 inch apart from each other. They're not going to really rise up a lot. We didn't put any baking soda or baking powder in here, so there shouldn't be any reason for it to really ride up. Another cookie. All right, we got a couple cookies in here. Now you can see they're kind of chunky looking, but that's because they've got celery bits in there. But they're definitely going to be a good flavor. Liver is always a good flavor. Tuna fish works real well too. Anything that stinks. Okay, we've got our oven preheated here to 375 degrees. We're going to go for about 20 to 25 minutes. Now, we want to keep an eye on them. We're going to go for just like a light golden brown on top. Okay, we're pulling out right here at 20 minutes. We've got a nice little brown right there. Okay, now we've let them cool for about 2 minutes. We're going to go ahead and just pop them off the pan and set them on the cooling rack. Okay, and what we're hoping for here is a kind of cakey center. Looks like bread, a little bit of celery in there. Just a little bit of crunch on that celery. Good little kind of tight cracker, almost like crust. Soft on the inside. The ultimate biscuit. The dog loves it. Ain't no doubt about it. Boy, look at that. One batch, pièce de résistance, doggy biscuits. Emmerich approved. Celery and a liver.